Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Sophia Chang. I am the founder of Unlock Your Potential. We are here with part of our small but mighty army of volunteers. I would like to introduce them all to you. I'll go in the order that they appear on my screen. I would like to introduce you first to Kit Kat Fisher, who is the head of our socials team. When you all saw how incredibly aggressively we were posting, a lot of that was Kit Kat. She did some wonderful work for us, and she is also how many months?
6.5.
She's 6.5 months pregnant. I didn't even ask you if I could share that. I'm sorry, but she's 6.5
That's okay.
months pregnant,
It's news.
and we're very, very excited. So thank you, Kit Kat, for being here. Next, we have Alexandrina Andre. Hi, Alex. Alex is based in California, and Alex helps with a lot of our social stuff, but she also helps with editing stuff, video editing, and the build-up sessions. And I'm so happy to have you here. And Alexandrina is who's mentee?
Cameron Ross. Cameron J. Ross.
Cameron J. Ross. So thank you for being here. Next up, we have Wadad Jabber, who is in Austin, Texas, where it's 38 degrees. Apparently it's uncharacteristically cold. Thank you so much for being here, Wadad. Wadad is like my right arm. I can't do very much without her. She has helped with so many things for all leading up to 2023, and she's a whiz with Excel, which is something that I admire greatly. But and Wadad was also really instrumental in helping us put together our fundraiser back in July. So thank you for being here, Wadad. Thank you. We're so happy to have you. Crystal Trotter, are you keeping your aha? Here we go. Crystal Trotter is in North Carolina. She has applied to be mentored 3 years running, and she will tell you about this later. Crystal is part of our socials team, and she helps out with all of our graphics. So 90% of all of the gorgeous graphics that you see is all Crystal. So thank you, Crystal. I'm so happy that you are here. And next we have, and I'm so glad that you are on camera with your shirt, Jolia. This is Jolia the doll. Jolia, who is on the East Coast with me. I'm very happy. Jolia is a data whiz. Jolia does extraordinary work in the data analytics. Would I call it that, Jolia?
Yeah.
Data analytics space. In terms of, she really helps with insights into our socials. So thank you for being here, Julie. I can hardly wait to see you in person again. We'll go for brunch at that spot again. Thank you for being here. Okay, why don't you guys let her in and then ask her full name rather than having her, because you can't ask her a question if she's in the waiting room, huh? That's a limitation. Okay, so I want to say welcome and congratulations to this extraordinary crew of mentees in 2023. What I do at every orientation, every build-up session is I'm going to put you folks on gallery view. Oh my God. I would ask all of you to do the same. I always say that other than my children, Unlock Your Potential will be my greatest legacy. And if you just turn on your gallery view, and I hope everybody turns on their cameras, I'm going to scroll through. I'm going to ask everybody to unmute. So everybody unmute, please, and then you're all gonna have to mute again, so I don't have to hear you clanking dishes or hear your dogs barking. So everybody unmute. And I'm going to ask all of you to give yourselves a hand. Just keep clapping for you and for everybody. You're all just amazing. I mean, this is, when I really swell with pride, like there are how many? There are 132 women of color in this room. I have literally never been in a room with 132 women of color. And you know what? I built that shit. I need the fucking room. This is when I do this. But I absolutely couldn't do it with all of these extraordinary volunteers. A lot of you probably don't know the data points. There were so in year one, we had 2,000 applicants. In year two, we had 1,600 applicants. As the world starts to open up, we just figured that our numbers would continue to go down. So this year I said to the team, I said, well, Dad, if we get 1,000 applicants, I'll be really happy. And any of my team will tell you that I was like a thirsty bitch on Tinder. I was like, oh my God, are we getting applicants? Are we getting? We got almost 2,500 applications for 132 spots. There was a 5.7% chance of getting accepted into this program. You would have had an easier time getting into Brown, Columbia, Dartmouth, or UPenn. That is the most Korean mother thing I will ever say. So congratulations to all of you. It was extraordinarily competitive. Extraordinarily competitive. Yeah. I'm going to ask all of you to mute again, please. And I can tell you that as soon as we started sending out the applications to the mentors, I was getting texts like, fuck you, Sophia, this is really hard. I had no idea. You all know the questions that you answered. What are your short-term goals and long-term goals? Why is this mentor the best match for you and vice versa? What are the 3 to 5 questions that you would ask your mentor? This is frankly the only stuff that I looked at. And these are the most important questions for us, right? Because it kind of shows us where you are in your career, where we think that we might be able to intervene and help with that. But those questions are really meaningful. Some people answered stuff like, I've never even heard of you, but I just kind of pull you out of a hat, right? Those people are getting consideration, but those are really rare. The vast majority of applicants you all made really, really meaningful and thoughtful responses. So again, I want you all to pat yourselves on the back, jump back and kiss yourself, because you really did an extraordinary job. All of you signed the agreement. Thank you very much. All of you filled out the survey. Thank you very much. We need all those data points. All of you read the guidelines. I want to kind of go through some of the guidelines and make it really clear. It is up to you to reach out to your mentor. Reach out to your mentor. The next step that happens is that we will introduce you in the next couple of weeks to your mentor. The program starts in January 2023, and it's up to you to say, hey, mentor, can you please give me some availability in January? And I'll tell you what my mentee did this year, which was so smart, and it doesn't work for everybody. She established a time every month. So it's, whatever it is, the second Friday every month at 2:00. And it was incredibly helpful because in year one, we spent a lot of time kind of ping-ponging and saying, well, should we do this? Should we do that? Should we do this time? So that's one thing I recommend. I also highly recommend coming prepared, have questions, and be really intentional about what it is that you want to get. Look, you're going to deviate, right? You will, you kind of go off on tangents and all that. But if you come with a set agenda, you have 60 minutes. I will tell you that of all of the mentors that we've had over the years, I haven't spent 12 hours with the vast majority of them. I haven't gotten 12 hours with Liz Jenkins from Hello Sunshine. I never had 12 hours with Pamela Adlon, right? So you have this really amazing opportunity, and make the most of your time. I will also say that for me, and I think the other mentors would say this, that at the follow-up session, my mentee, her name is Detchen Keldon. First of all, she comes with a list, clack, 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 clack. She takes copious notes. It's like she literally, it's like she's a fucking stenographer, a court stenographer. She writes down everything that we talk about. And the next time that we speak, we will follow up on that. So it's almost like this session created the agenda for the next session, and she will say what she followed up on. Look, this does not mean by any means that you have to accept our guidance wholesale. Of course not. There's stuff, this works for me, this doesn't really work for me. But for us as mentors, it's the most meaningful when we feel like you've put some thought into what it is that we're talking about, and you've actually followed up on that, right? The other thing that is in those guidelines is that you cannot pitch your mentee. I cannot stress this hard enough. Our mentees, who are almost all my friends, are doing this for us, and they're giving us a lot of time. 12 hours is a lot of time. Time is probably more valuable to them than their money. It's their greatest asset. And what I told them all very clearly from the gate was, your mentee cannot say, hey, Ella, I've got this TV show. Can I pitch you? Right? They don't want to be put in that position, and it's unfair. However, certainly, if you start talking about a TV show, hey, I'm putting together this pitch, can you give me your thoughts on this and on the outline? That's one thing. And then if Ella says to me, you know what, Sophia, this actually sounds really interesting. Can I hear more? Can I read a sample? Can I know more about it? That's very different. So even though we lay out the guidelines very succinctly, when I designed the program, when I created the program, having managed talent for so long, I knew that I had to draw the four corners of the document very, very tightly. And we said, you can't ask for a letter of recommendation. You don't ask for an internship. You don't ask for access to the network. You don't get a job, blah, blah, blah. And you know what, folks, if you follow Unlock Your Potential, you know that all of this has resulted. We call them our blow-ups. We've had amazing, amazing stories that have emerged from this. Like Russell Peters, if any of you know him, he's an Indian-Canadian comic. He's one of the biggest stand-up comedians in the world. He took on a mentee who was over 50. She is Japanese, national. She speaks with an accent. That only makes a difference, means something, because she is a stand-up comedian. She's a mother. He gave her 2 5-minute sets to open up for him. That's huge. Like, there are people that would fucking run over the grandmother in a Mack truck if they thought that they could get an opening set with Russell Peters. So I'm not saying this can't happen. I'm saying that it cannot come from you asking them. I have had mentors come to me and say, hey, by the way, I want you to know that my mentee asked me, they saw a posting at my job and they asked me if I could make a recommendation. This is a no-no. This is a no-no. If I hear that you have done this, I will go to my team and we will discuss what the next steps are. So that's Sophia Chang being the mother and being the heavy, being the manager, being the producer. I would like to also say that next year could literally change your life. I've had people come up to me and say, and I know that Ella's had this, I know that Marley's had this, oh my God, Sophia, I sat next to you at this dinner or at this gala and you said this thing to me and it changed my life. And I'm like, really? I don't even fucking remember you. Never mind what the fuck we talked about. I have no idea. I meet so many people, but I have the story too. I absolutely do. I have the story about somebody that mentioned something to me in passing, like literally in passing. I was at a gala and I was writing something about leadership, and the guy that was being honored was the CEO of SAP, the people that do payroll. And he's literally getting in a car and I said, can I just ask you something? What is the one quality that you think that leaders need? And he said, grit. He literally, we interfaced for maybe 30 seconds and that always stayed with me. So take advantage of these moments. They are beautiful. They are exciting. And your mentors, again, I know them all personally. They are extraordinary. So in terms of who you are, our youngest mentee, I believe, is 22. Is that right, Wadad? And our eldest mentee, I believe, is 58. That is a 36-year differential. So as you go out there and you evangelize for our program, and I know that you will, when people say Unlock Your Potential is a program for young women of color, that is not true. Young women of color are welcome. It is not exclusively for that. I am somebody that rages against the machine of white supremacy, patriarchy, and ageism every fucking day. I would put it on my LinkedIn profile if there was a space for it. So if anybody ever characterizes that, please correct them and say, yes, I may be 24, but actually the program was designed and we are incredibly inclusive because we believe that women at any age deserve mentorship, particularly women of color, because most of us have not actually had access to this for most of our lives. And I didn't start, I myself, I didn't start writing for television until I was 55. So what I'm going to say, our cutoff is at 40. Fuck that. That doesn't make sense. That's not fair, right? It's completely exclusionary. You all come from a huge range of geography. Again, one of the beauties of Unlock a Potential is that it is not in person. Why do I say that that's a beauty of the program? It's a beauty of the program because it means that it does not favor the coasts. The vast majority, I would say 90% of our mentors are either in Los Angeles or they're in New York. So if you live anywhere else, does that mean you're ass out? Absolutely not. And the last thing that I'll say about our cohort is there were lots of names that were so varied and so beautiful. And there's one name that stuck with me. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'd really like her to tell me how she pronounces her name. Her last name is Beauvoir. Her first name, and I'm going to butcher it, and excuse me.
It's Tanais. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's Tanais? It's that easy?
Yes. But
Oh my God, I wish I'd known. Hi, everybody. Tanais, whose mentee are you?
Jonah Peretti. He's the
Oh my
CEO.
God, it's Jonah Peretti. Okay, so Tanais, I mean, the variety of names, and you know who has the most banal name? Chang is the most common surname in the world. And in 1965, there was nobody named Sophia, and then all the fucking biters came on board. So I think that they're a fucking gang of Sophia Changs. So I would just like to applaud the diversity of age, the diversity of complexion, the diversity of geography, the diversity of backgrounds. I mean, you know, we ask some of the data that we ask you for, right, is race. And then we ask you also for ethnicity. And it is so varied and so beautiful, and where the provenance. And this is why it's really important that we all come together. You know, Unlock a Potential, in addition to being a mentorship program, a one-on-one mentorship program, we have our build-up sessions. Don't forget this. Most of you have probably attended one, and I would really encourage you to attend more. But what I'm doing with Unlock a Potential, I'm building community. I'm building coalition. I'm building citizenry. These are the 3 C's. Because unless we come together, we cannot dismantle the systems that have historically oppressed us. We cannot undo the institutions that keep us down, keep us tight, keep us small. So I really hope that you will all figure out, you know, we have a LinkedIn group, which Kit Kat will speak to, where I really want you all to meet. And I'm also going to tell you that we're going to start having quarterly Zooms with you folks. And I'd love you all to put in the chat kind of when works best for you. Is it weekday day, weekday night, weekend day, or weekend night? And we'll try to, we'll try to accommodate. Somebody put the LinkedIn group in the chat, please. Somebody's probably already done that. Kit Kat has probably already done that. We also have a document, a Google Doc. Somebody put that in the chat, please, as well, where you can add questions. I forgot to ask everybody to please put your names next to them. Our build-up sessions, if you've ever attended one, they start on the hour, they end on the hour. I am very particular about time. Today, you have me as long as you need me. I will answer every single question. Any questions that you have, I will stay here until the questions are answered. And the last thing before I turn it over to our incredible folks that I want to say is, this is breaking news. This is huge news. This just got confirmed in the last couple of days, and we don't have final signature on it yet. We are having, speaking of building community, we are having our first ever Unlock Her Potential Symposium. It's a one-day symposium. It is going to be with NYU. They're going to sponsor us. NYU has a School of Music, Clive Davis School of Music, which is in Brooklyn. It will be Saturday, March 25th. It is the last Saturday in March. March is Women's History Month. So mark your calendars. And it's going to be an amazing day of programming. We can hardly wait. Ella and I have been very busy trying to pull all of this together. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm fucking bored of myself. I would love to, Marley, are you still here? Are you still in the room? Are you in the house, Marley? Marley, did she have to go? Okay, she had to go. I would like to introduce you to a member of the Brain Trust and one of my closest friends. Many of you are very familiar with her. If you are on my Instagram, you will know that she is my, I guess I'm the straight man. Am I the straight and you're
Yes.
the, okay.
Hello, everyone.
Everybody say hi to Danielle Belton. Danielle Belton is the editor-in-chief of
HuffPost.
So Tanayas, your mentor, is her boss. What is your mentee's name?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
I'm bugging. I'm totally bugging. What's her mentee's name, Wadad? I just had it. I literally just had it. Whoever,
It's me, Giovanna Plummer.
Hi, Giovanna.
where
Hi.
did Giovanna go? Hi, Giovanna. Hang on a second. I'm going to add spotlight. Hi, Giovanna. Hang on a second. Why is Lorraine? Okay. That's your mentor.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
She's very excited.
Yes.
And why did you choose Danielle Belton?
I think I chose Danielle because I was really impressed by your bio. And I also just I like the coverage of the Huffington Post. So I thought I would learn a lot from you.
Thank you for being here. Thank
So
you.
nice seeing you. Looking forward to seeing you in January.
Okay, so Danielle
Yes.
Belton,
Yes.
I would love you to talk a little bit about what we were saying. You and I had a conversation yesterday about being punctual.
Yes.
So this is a miniature build-up session for all of you. And then Ella, I was asking Ella if she thought the same, and she said yes. What did you tell me today? This is for everybody to know. What happens if somebody shows up to a job interview late?
Oh, that resume is in the trash. You didn't get the job. It didn't happen. There's no way to overcome lateness because it's like, this is a job interview. Like, it's super important. Like, it's someone's time and energy, and they're interested in hearing from you for a role that they're excited about. And if you're not showing the same type of enthusiasm and energy, then it's like, then what's the point? There's no point.
And Ella said the same thing, right? Ella, you were like, yeah, I'm totally with you. Unless it's extenuating circumstances, they are not.
Yeah, you got to like call like ahead, like a day ahead, several hours for the interview. Be like, for some reason I can't make it. I need to reschedule.
What was that guy's excuse?
Oh, the one guy, he lived in Jersey. It was far. I'm
No.
just like, no, like you should have left earlier.
You should have left yesterday. Resume in the trash. Okay, speaking of which, I would like now to turn over the spotlight to, where's Ella Goodwin? How come I can't see you anymore, Ella? Hold up, where are you?
Here.
Somebody make Ella the spotlight, please, and take me and Danielle off spotlight. There we go. Okay, so let me introduce Ella Goodwin first. Ella, I've known for years. Ella went to Vassar, where my brother teaches. I believe Kimberly, my brother's Hesock's mentee, is in the room. Ella used to be a student at Vassar. And then my daughter, Jen Holm, used to babysit her daughter, Reed. And Ella recently reached out to me on Instagram because she was paying a lot of attention to what we do here at Unlock Her Potential. So Ella, I'd like you to talk a little. Ella's also a member of the Brain Trust. Me and Ella and Danielle did it. We did like a 5 hour, and then Ella and I went for another 3 hours. We did an all day session brainstorming about stuff, and she is just critical. I probably call Ella 3 times a day, asking her the most picky stuff, from the most picky shit to the really big questions. But Ella, I'd love to hear you talk about the program and what you're looking for. Oh, first, let's meet your mentee. Where's Kia? Kia Payne, raise your hand, please. Kia Payne, raise your hand. Okay, you can keep talking, and when Kia Payne is ready, please spotlight her, folks.
Okay, great. So I'm all tingly. I'm so excited to see everybody being a part of the process, getting ready to launch and have everybody be submitting their applications, and then the whole process of everybody being here. And I think there's a couple of things that we want to highlight and call attention to. One is there are a lot of you, because of the propensity and the large number of mentors who are in film, TV, publishing, media, and music. But what's so exciting about this group in particular is that Sophia really expanded the network of mentors, and I'm in that expansion, to include more people in STEM, culinary, activism and public affairs, fine art, and finance. So not only, so there's the diversity and the spectrum of interests from the mentors and the mentees is growing in its richness, and it's really exciting to have that be happening. I'm just going to shout out a couple of folks who are in the activism and public affairs group. And if you are a mentee to any of the people I'm going to name, feel free to drop your name in the chat. But we have Donovan Richards and Mark Levine, who are the borough presidents for Queens and Manhattan. We've got Anurima Bhargava, who is the president of Anthem of Us. Carrie Goldberg, who is a badass victims' right advocate. Jess Tutonico, who is the executive director of We Are Family Foundation in philanthropy. And then Marley Holmes, who leads diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging at Save the Children. I'm really excited that my mentee, Kia Payne, if you're there, she is the senior finance analyst at the Henry Jackson Foundation for the Advancement of Military Medicine. So shout out to anybody who has veterans in their family or has served in the military. Happy Veterans Day. And Kia has been doing this work for 13 years. She's based in Maryland, and she is developing a curriculum to bring financial literacy and readiness to low-income middle and high schoolers. And Sophia, she is interested in writing a book. So, but what I want to highlight here is that everybody in the UP community is a change maker in your own right. With UP, when we want to be able to have women of color have more prosperous, more optimistic, and a more balanced life experience. And we want corporations and governments and social institutions to serve all of society because they have more representative leadership. And that's you. That's you. We want to be able to have women of color in roles where they are exercising, you all are exercising more power, more authority, and more influence. And so everybody here on this call, everybody who is in the UP community, you are all part of that change. And it is beautiful and exciting. And I hope that you all get to connect with each other in the LinkedIn group and get to support each other on this journey. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you.
Ella, tell us about your recent success story. So Ella is the CEO of an NGO, a nonprofit called Vision Spring. She helps put glasses on people in the global south who make less than $4 a day. If you can imagine what it's like not to, if your vision is blurry or just barely working, there's so many things that you can't do. You can't read, you can't drive, you can't sew, you can't cook. I mean, there's so much that you can't do. And she just had a big thing. What's that?
They're gonna hire you to start pitching Vision Spring.
No, I've got the little.
She's got it down, man.
I recently saw Ella close the NASDAQ bell, which was really amazing. In New York City in Times Square, there's this huge, like 10-story building, and she was she was on the corner of it. But tell us about the recent win that you just, the money that you just raised, and from whom?
So there's two things happening. One is this year we are going to hit our milestone as Vision Spring. We're going to get our 10 millionth customer who lives
Oh
on
shit.
$4 a day into eyeglasses. So that's happening in the next 6 weeks. We're watching, we've got like a countdown. So we're thrilled for that. And to take us into our next chapter, Mackenzie Scott, who some of you will know is Jeff Bezos's ex-wife and the better half, gave our organization a transformational gift of $15 million a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy. Marley Holmes, whom Ella was just shouting out, Marley used to work at Rock Nation, and now she works at Save the Children. And it's been really phenomenal because, you know, everybody, all of us, we were thinking, oh my God, she doesn't work at Rock anymore. It's going to be kind of tough for her to get any applicants. She actually got more applicants this year, I think, even than years 1 and 2 combined. And so I think what Ella is speaking to is there's this movement towards, what do you call it again?
Well, it's everybody who's looking to have purpose and have social impact through your careers, whether it's in your workplace, whether it's through your volunteer work, or you're actually joining a nonprofit. But there's so many ways to create social impact and develop the purpose in your life where you get to be part of something really bigger than yourselves.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you for being here. My mentee is in the house, Kawana. If you could raise your hand, and then if you folks could spotlight her, please, because I like to say hi to my mentee. I'd like to say hi to Kawana, and then I'm going to pass it over to you, Kit Kat, and I'm going to have you kind of talk about the socials issues, the social stuff. And again, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, honey. Nice to meet you.
You too. I'm so excited about this whole thing.
Oh, I'm so excited that you're so excited. I had a lot of applicants this year. It was really fucking hard. It was really, really hard. I had that document, you know, I'm texting, emailing everybody every day saying, get me your choice, get me your choice, get me your choice. I was like, bitch, you haven't made your own choice because it's so fucking hard. I had that spreadsheet open and I was looking at it once a day, and it was really, really tough. But your application really stood out. There was a lot of heart in what you said. It was very truthful. It was very earnest. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to work with you next year.
I am so glad to hear you say that because I didn't know what to write.
Well, if you did a great job. Sometimes we don't know how it's going to land, right? You can't possibly know how something is going to land. So thank you for being here at orientation. We got your photo too, right? I think we got your photo.
Yes.
You sent a picture. Yes. So I saw your beautiful face already along with everybody else's. So thank you for being here, Kawana. You and I will be connected by email again in the next couple of weeks. And then I'm going to talk to you in January.
Okay. I look forward to it.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you. Let's pin Kit Kat Fisher, please. Let's pin Catherine Fisher, and she can talk about the socials, and we can unspotlight me.
Hello, everyone. Just want to say again, congratulations. I mean, because the 130 women of color in this room is pretty freaking badass. As someone that went to an all-girls institution, I was a part of a sorority. I'm very grateful for the privilege of being with women primarily, but look at all of you. You all worked your butts off to get here, and you've earned every single position that you've gotten into. So I just wanted to take a second and, you know, actually, let me phrase it like this. Do all of you have access to a pen and paper or a note on your laptop or anything like that? Yes? Okay, amazing. So I'd like us all to take maybe 3 minutes to answer 3 questions. 1, why did you apply to unlock your potential? 2, what does being a part of the Unlock Your Potential community mean to you? And 3, what in your potential would you like to unlock during your mentorship program? I'll put these in the chat. And again, we'll just take like 3 to 4 minutes So once we hit the 45-minute mark, I'll let you know.
Is everybody answering questions? Is that what they're doing?
A
Yay.
little journal reflection time.
I love that. And you're going to ask them to do the video too, right, honey?
Mhm. Take one more minute.
Kit Kat came with the homework.
I did. All
I
right,
love it.
cool.
I love it.
So even if you haven't finished, your whys behind this, I think it's important to reflect upon why you're here and how you got yourself here. And, you still have about a month and a half before you get to really sit down with your mentors and chat with them. So now it's a great time to continue building off of that why, right? You've earned your spot here. You get to live that why at this point. And so I know for me, I wanted to be a part of Unlock Her Potential's volunteer group because to be able to support women of color, non-binary folks of color, it's important to me as someone that has come to embrace and love being a woman of color more recently, and to be able to see us in a room and to know that you all have not just the capacity, but the greatness in you that can still be nourished and pushed forward more, right? I get to work with an incredible team, Crystal, Dalia, like Ari. It's so freaking awesome to be able to sit with people that understand what it means to be in this community. And as you continue moving forward, this is where the socials comes in. We would love to hear some of your whys, and not just through Zoom, but also to be able to share those whys. So a couple of things that we would love to see from all of you and how to execute this. You can take one of those questions and essentially create a video out of it. We'll spotlight some of you on Instagram, on LinkedIn, essentially video content to say your why. And, this is a time where not only have you hit this milestone, but you get to share that experience with folks. So be loud and proud about it. So for instance, if I were to do this and record myself, I would take my phone, I would go in front of my window, which gives me great lighting, which I am very grateful for, or in front of my handy dandy ring light, which happens to be right next to me, and make sure I'm well lit, make sure that it's vertical, and say, hi, my name is Kit Kat, and I'm a proud mentee of Unlock Her Potential. And then state one of those whys. Maybe, I wanted to be in a community full of women of color, and now I get that. Or this mentor chose me out of all of these folks, which I'm so grateful for that privilege, right? You know, whatever it may be, state that loud and proud. You will have the ability to put your videos in here. So let me just drop this in the chat. And yeah, we would love to see some of your submissions and to be able to put that onto our Instagram feed, on LinkedIn and things like that. And so not only that, we have Crystal, who Sophia had introduced earlier, who has also created these awesome freaking frames for all of you to continue just sharing that. Crystal, are you able to share your screen?
Yes, I am. Let me see.
Hang on 2 seconds. Is Ari here? Ari's here, right? I didn't
Ari
call out
is here.
Ari. I'm fucking bugging. Ari, where are you? Raise your hand. Can somebody,
right here.
Ari, can you spotlight yourself, or can somebody spotlight Ari, please? Hi, Ari. Ari. So Ari is also a member of our team. She's also based in Cali, and Ari helps a lot with video editing. So she will take this video today that we are recording, and she will edit it into little clips. So I want to say thank you so much, Ari. You've been with us for a while now, and you've been doing tremendous, tremendous work. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Let's spotlight Crystal, and then Crystal can share her screen.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So let me share my screen. No, that's actually my desktop. You don't want to see that. It's a mess. Let me get to the second desktop. Sorry about that. Let's see. Desktop 2. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Look
Can
at
you,
that.
can you, rather than doing that, Crystal, can you click on one and scroll through them?
Oh, let me see.
You can do that. Double click on that and then just hit the arrow.
All right.
You guys, these are our amazing frames. Look. Look at
Y'all
you.
are radiant.
Danielle, come look.
Amazing pictures.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't that amazing? Yay, Chloe was a volunteer.
No, very beautiful.
Y'all look incredible.
Yes,
oh my goodness.
yes.
Quan said it best in the chat. You are a whole vibe. Absolutely.
And I'm going to share the link to this folder, right, Sophia? We're going to do that today?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to share the link to the folder in the chat. And then you'll be able to download, right, your personalized frame.
Yeah.
And share it on socials and tell everyone about this program and about what you're doing and about us.
So with that, feel free to share that, share the video about your why. The reason why this is so important isn't just, you know, for us with social media. I will always, I will always on the marketing end, love to see more from you all. But it's also important for you to be able to look back on this and say, I did that, and this is my why. And to be able to go back to that as you continue this mentorship program. And so outside of that, you can also, let's see, please post that on LinkedIn. Connect with each other in the LinkedIn group, which I'll put in the chat again. And also, you know, as you go into the mentorship program, you get to meet your mentors and whatnot. Also send special moments to media@unlockherpotential.com. I'll put that in the chat as well. And share some of the cool shit that you've done. Anything where you're like, yo, I just accomplished this for a blow up, like share that information. Or maybe you had an incredible session with your mentor and you're like, I just gained this insight that I needed and want to share this with all of you. Or, maybe you get the opportunity to meet a mentor in person. Share those moments with us because we want to be able to see your journey and to be able to celebrate that with you. So once again, you will receive the assets for your frames. Share that cool stuff on LinkedIn, as well as, Instagram, tag us. If you'd like to submit a video, we'll send the link again in the chat to showcase your why. And then finally, share any special moments that you have with media@unlockherpotential.com.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Crystal is also making a bespoke banner for LinkedIn. If you want to put it on your LinkedIn page, if you would please announce on your LinkedIn page that you are a proud mentee of Unlock Her Potential. And the last thing I'm going to ask for, number one, is donations, unlockherpotential.com/donations. If somebody would please put that in the chat. And I would also like to make a call for volunteers. We need folks to help with a number of things: graphics, social media, fundraising. We're just kind of stuck together with chewing gum and gaffer tape that I steal from somewhere, along with some Sharpies and some tea bags. If you folks have anything that you would like to volunteer, even if you could do an hour a month or a couple hours a month, that would be really, really tremendous. And you can help with social media. Thank you, Priya. Yes, if you folks want to put that in the chat, or if you want to email, I'm not sure. Kit Kat, what's the best way to do this? Should they email us? Would Dad email us at support@unlockherpotential?
I think that would be the best way, is
Oh, you
to
know
have
what?
them email it.
Right. Yeah. If you could please email us at support@unlockherpotential.com to volunteer.
And let us know kind of your area that you'd like to volunteer.
Please. So that's it for us. And now I would like to turn it over to questions. You have Danielle here. I don't know if Ella's still here, but you have Danielle and I, and you have this whole amazing team of volunteers. So
Yeah, I'm here.
yay. Okay. So I don't know who's watching the questions, but can someone throw me a question?
So we have Imani asking, is it a faux pas to mention our specific mentor in our social media posts?
No,
Not
please do.
tagging them, but just mentioning that my
Please,
mentor.
please do. Thank you for asking that question, Imani. It's a great question. Absolutely, you should. A lot of our mentors, as you can imagine, they're either not on social media or their pages are private. A lot of them have families. And, if they made their pages public, then they would get annoying people like me going, please listen to my demo. But absolutely, please feel free to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much for asking. Here's a tip for all of you. Here's one of my little tips that I say to everybody. Always introduce yourself, first name and last name, always. Imani, I don't know your last name. I could probably look it up on my Google sheet, but hi, thank you for asking that question. And and for anybody, because I'm seeing some folks saying that they didn't see their frames. If you didn't see your frame, it means that it's just a slip that we haven't gotten to it yet, because they've been coming in really fast and heavy over the last 24 to 48 hours, but we guarantee that they will be made. What's the next question, Wadad?
Mac was asking, Saidi was asking if there was a specific date that they had to submit their why video.
Oh, that's a question for Kit Kat. That Ms. Fisher?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, is there, how soon, what's the timeline for submitting their why, or, the questions that you had posed?
Of course. So
videos.
we would love to see that in by, Sophia, what do you think? Next week?
Yeah, a week. I think everybody has a week to do it.
Yeah.
And you want it in portrait, right?
Yes, portrait. Make sure your lighting looks nice. So that means light in front of you, not behind you. And yeah, keep up the energy. Y'all, I can see you in the chat. I can see some of you taking notes. I can see you smiling. I can see some of you crying even. So we want to see every single part about your why as well.
There's a question from Pallavi. Samasetti. I hope I pronounced that correctly. She wants to know if the symposium is going to be in person or virtual, or in person with an option to be virtual.
It will be in person. We haven't thought about the virtual option. That's a good question. We haven't actually talked about that. Ella, what do you think?
I think that, so there's going to be a bit of dynamism in the symposium. We're going to be in breakout groups, and so comings and goings. So we might not be able to make the entire symposium virtual, but there will be keynotes, and I suspect that we could make the keynotes virtual as well.
Okay.
We have a question from Aja Beckham. She wants to know how long the videos should be.
Another
Up
good
to
question.
45 seconds, please.
Did you say 45?
Yeah, up to 45 seconds.
Next.
Someone was asking if we can email them all the links, which we can certainly do. Right, Sophia, all the links, all the
Sure.
items that we've shared, we'll send an email to all the mentees.
Yeah, it will be, so it will be the LinkedIn, it will be the LinkedIn group. It will be the link to the Mentee frames. And what else?
The LinkedIn group, and then the link to where to post the social media.
Oh, right,
Video.
yes. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, those three things. Okay.
Let's see. It's a question. So this is a question that comes from Rosalie Cabison. She wants to know, and it's posed to any of the mentors, what's your why for taking on mentees?
Ella, you answer that.
Sure. Well, I'm also a spreadsheet user. So the first thing I got everybody into the spreadsheet, and then I started doing, I was looking at different criteria. So one, I was looking at thoughtfulness of people's responses to the questions, how much intention came through, how much curiosity came through. And I really was not looking for people to have answers, but I was looking for people to have a general sense of what they were aspiring to. Now, part of the discovery process with a mentor is to be able to create your life journey and, have conversations about the paths that are optional. So that are out there. So I wasn't looking for people to say, I want to be X, but I was looking for people who were doing that deep reflective work and were were being really intentional. I actually ended up taking on 2 mentees. So I have one that's going to be full-time. So we're going to do once a month. And then I couldn't say no to a second who was in my group. And I just thought that what she wanted to do was awesome as well. And so I'm going to have her be meeting with me. And she's actually based here in New York. So one is based in Maryland and will be remote. And then one will be based in New York. And so we'll meet every other month. And of course, part of it was a match with what I felt like I could offer in terms of my own expertise and experience that would be able to contribute and accelerate the applicant's journey. So it was multidimensional for me.
And you answered actually one of the other questions is not all mentees are taking on more than one, not all mentors are taking on multiple mentees. Somebody had asked, so just to clarify.
Absolutely not. I'm going to ask that question. I'm going to add something to that. So again, it's highly competitive, right? So the vast majority of mentors took on just one mentee. I also will implore you, our mentors are really busy. I'm really busy. And there might be times where I'm going to have to postpone or cancel. There might even be times where it's going to be difficult to get in touch with me. What I beg of you is ask for help immediately. That, we have no idea what the actual chemistry is going to be like. It's impossible. You don't actually know until you start talking to this person. So we have absolutely had some experiences in the past where the matches weren't necessarily a great fit. There's no way to mitigate that, right? We've taken all the necessary steps to do that. So if you have issues, I can't get in touch with my mentor, I don't feel like it's working, please reach out to support@unlockyourpotential.com and we will do whatever we can to intervene. Don't let it go for months and months and months. By the same token, I am telling the mentors this. If there's any issue, if your mentee, look, over the past couple of years, we've had mentees completely disappear, ghost their mentors, which I find galling. You know, we've had mentors get really busy. Oh my God, I had no idea. My show just got greenlit and I'm in production. There are lots of kind of external factors that could contribute to it being harder to connect. We are here to try to facilitate the connections as much as possible. Please take this seriously. Please receive this for the gift that it is. Not from me, not from the program, but from your mentor. We had a scenario last year where one of the mentees just completely disappeared. And when I went back to the mentor and I said, will you take on another for the rest of the year? She said, I'm too busy now. What that means, my friend's time was wasted. And whoever it was that was her mentee took the spot of another woman of color. We bust our fucking asses over here. We work so damn hard to make this the most productive, instructive, inspiring, empowering place as possible. And what you folks have is the most sterling. You guys have like the platinum level here, right? You have the one-on-one mentorship. There are folks that are getting an hour bi-monthly, an hour quarterly, a 1 halftime session, a 1 60-minute session, a 1 40-minute session, a group Zoom. There are mentors who chose to do that. They're absolutely not obligated. Absolutely, absolutely not. But that was my way of saying, hey, I know it's fucking hard to choose somebody because the pool is so robust, but here's an alternative, which is what, you know, what that was born of. But, and then life can come along, right? I just found out that I have to take care of my mother. I just found out that I have to do this. Please let us know rather than ghosting your mentor, because what that means for us, it's labor. And to be completely candid, for me, Sophia Chang is the founder who personally calls up every mentor and says, will you please do me this great service? It's humiliating. It's embarrassing. You know, I have been working for 35 years. I have a fucking vault of goodwill the size of the Grand Canyon. And in 35 years, I ask nothing of my folks until unlock her potential. This is the phone call that I make. It's not, please listen to my demo. It's not, please put me in your television show. It's not, please get me VIP tickets. It's not, please give my kid a job. My kids wouldn't take it. It is, please come and mentor a woman of color. And unanimously, they have said, sign me up, Soph. Sign me up. Just point me in the direction. Just show me where the door is and I will be there. So I hope you all receive this as the tremendous, tremendous gift that it is. And we give it with such joy. It is so incredibly rewarding to mentor. And my hope is that all of you will one day be mentors. If not in Unlock Your Potential, then in your own spaces. And you will have hopefully more than one mentor in your lifetimes. What's the next question, Wadad?
Ew, I don't know how I can follow that. Let's see, there's a question about, is it okay to meet the mentor in person if the opportunity arises?
It's a great question. Absolutely. We've actually had mentors meet their mentees in person. Have you met your mentees?
I met one of them.
Yeah, I met my mentees because they actually volunteered to help out with a fundraiser. Yes, it's a really smart question. Absolutely, it's fine. Obviously, it's at the level of comfort for the mentor. You know, again, part of the design of Unlock Your Potential was If I say it's an hour a month for a year, for my mentors, it's an hour because all it is turning on a Zoom or picking up the phone. But if it actually involves planning and logistics, driving, parking, Ubering, all that kind of stuff, then you're actually tacking on another hour. So the thing that I'm trying to be the most respectful of, and the thing that we hope that you learn through the program, is respecting other people's time. To Danielle's point, when that man walked in the door, how late was he?
An hour.
He was an hour late. He was done. She'd already slit his throat. I'm actually, God bless you for even meeting with that motherfucker.
It was down the street from my job, and I came in early, so I just had breakfast and waited for him.
So he got lucky. So yes, please be respectful of time. What's next with that?
Aside from the LinkedIn group of mentees, is there a spreadsheet where we could get all of the mentee names and affiliations as a way to begin building a community? Or if they can just create like a Slack channel, just as a way to build.
Ella, why don't you speak to that? Hang on, I'm going to spotlight you.
So I think we're going to start with the LinkedIn group as the place where everybody can connect. Because once you're in LinkedIn, you'll see who each other are, and you can also message each other directly, and you can swap personal information if you want to do that. Swap, phone numbers and emails. So we're starting with the LinkedIn group as the place to kind of host the community. And to be honest, managing one group is probably enough for the time being. So I'm a super hyper WhatsApp user. I don't know if a lot of folks are also WhatsApp users, but for now we're going to stick with LinkedIn and see how we go.
The other thing that I want to say about the LinkedIn group, I've been training in Shaolin Kung Fu for 35 years. And one of the most profound lessons that I learned from my ex is that the glass is always half full. What does that mean? It means it's no negativity. There is a positive to everything. When it rains, I used to be like, oh, fuck, it's raining. And he would say, but Sophia, the trees and the flowers are happy because they needed the rain. And he was dead ass too. He was completely committed to that. And I take that into everything that I do. So we will monitor the LinkedIn group. This is my home. I do not let toxicity. I do not let negativity. I do not let cattiness, and I do not let any gossip into my home. I can't imagine that any of you would do that, but I've seen conversations, there's a saying in Chinese that just one small mouse can ruin a vat of soup. So all it takes is just one person to say something, and then it can cascade. We will be very careful about that. And I hope all of you will be thoughtful and not bring any of that to our homes.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
The next question comes from Paige Elson.
Hi, Paige Elson. I actually see you, Paige Elson. Hi.
If you're performing in a show, is it okay to invite them? I'm assuming your mentor to your show.
Absolutely. 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 As long as they don't, Paige, as long as they don't feel like, and you would caveat this, right? And say, look, I'm performing in the show. Let me know if you would love to come, but I'm not expecting you to come in the capacity as my mentor or an agent or a manager, right? It's just something that I'm extending to you, and please do not feel obligated to come. Don't you think, Ella? Isn't that the right response?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, for sure. And I think it also depends on the relationship that you have. So like if part of what you're working on is performance, and you have had a conversation with your mentor about giving feedback on your performance, then that's an entirely different context. And if it's just a fun, nice thing to do, then I think what Sophia just said, which is, no obligation, but just want to extend the opportunity, then that's a lovely invite.
Yeah, and we don't even have to talk about it, right? Like, it's not that the next session is going to be breaking it down, because remember, if you ask me to read a 30-page sample and it takes me 30 minutes, that's 30 minutes out of your 60 minutes next month, right? We're really clear about that. I'm finally have time to look in the chat, and I'm just loving all of this positivity. Oh, look at everybody saying congrats to Kit Kat. Oh, this is what I love.
Sophia, you're way behind. This chat is like a mile long. You're gonna have to go back in here at the end and see all the wonderfulness going on in here.
I know there's a lot of wonderfulness. What's the next question with that?
It comes from Kimberly Fisher, and
that's Hesox. Ella, this Hesox Mentee. Bring her up on the screen. Where is she? Raise your hand. I want to see my brother's Mentee.
Kimberly, you're in for a treat.
You are in for a treat.
Well, she's eager to meet Isak, and she was
Okay.
wondering if she can meet him at the symposium.
Oh, Ella, we're gonna let Isak in the symposium. Ugh, as the little sister rolls her eyes. Look at me roll my eyes. Ugh, I have to let my brother come to the symposium. Yeah, I mean, if he's not working, absolutely he'll be there at the symposium. I saw somebody ask that in the chat. Will mentors be invited to the symposium? Mentors will absolutely be invited to attend. And we're still right now formulating what the program is. Ella, did we talk about saying that we wanted to kind of do a survey of our folks, of our whole community to see what they would want us to talk about?
Yeah, so you can, so we have some ideas. So your surveys were really important.
Incredibly important.
At the beginning, right, just before joining at this orientation, which are the topics that you're looking at, and some people are flagging the challenges that they're facing. So we're going to cull through those, and what we might do is come back to the community to get some kind of heat map your interest in terms of the kinds of topics that would be most relevant to the most numbers of people. So we're going to design the content around the curiosity and the needs of the community. And it's really oriented around, obviously it's oriented to all of you. So it's the mentees. It's not just this year's mentee. It won't just be the 2023 mentees. It's going to be the whole UP community. So the symposium will be extended to the Mentee alum who have already gone through the program. It'll be extended to the mentors. And we will, and the idea, you know, it's really powerful to be shoulder to shoulder in the same space. So we'll be designing the sessions over the next month or so, and then we'll get your feedback on it as well.
And as a reminder, I mean, we're gonna send you a few surveys. We survey the mentees, as Ella said, but then we also survey the mentors to see how that experience is going. And the reason why we do that is to be able to see, kind of measure the health of the program. So don't take it as like, oh my God, I have to do another survey. If we're looking for UP to grow and, you know, become the organization that we know it can be and expand our reach, it is important to get the those data points.
Yeah, and we really try to keep them short because we don't want to be burdensome to fill them out. So we try to make them fast and easy.
The next question comes from Sharonda Harris. She wants to know if we're allowed to document or journal our mentee process throughout the year.
You should. That's a great idea. Absolutely. And if there's any of it you want to share with Kit Kat so that we can put it on the socials. Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. You know, I think the thing that all of us would expect is mutual discretion, right? So there are things that my mentee shares with me. I haven't shared anything that my mentees have told me with anybody else because that's all private, right? Unless it's something specific like that they've asked me to share with somebody. I don't even know what that is because they never have. Or if my mentee says, hey, I wrote this book, and then I just happen to say, hey, Ella, my mentee wrote this book. Why don't you check it out? Absolutely. And by the same token, you know, I would say that the foundation of any relationship, and even this one that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that you're going to be mentored by somebody that you don't know, the foundation of it is trust. I trust that you will respect my time. I trust that you will be on time. I trust that you will be prepared. That's what I expect as a mentor. And as a mentee, I trust, mentor, that you are invested in my professional future. I trust that you are present. I trust that you are giving me the best possible guidance that's coming to you right now. These are really important things. So absolutely, you should absolutely journal, and just, you know, if there's anything you think that your mentor has said to you that you would like to share, I would just ask. You know, you told me this thing about this film festival or this opportunity. Do you mind if I share it? That's all that I would say.
The next question comes from Mori Fukui. I think that's how you say it, or not. Would our mentors still be able to advise us on our goals that don't actually exactly fit their expertise or work? For example, advice for TV writing versus them specializing in STEM media.
Yes, I mean, I'm going to assume that all of you did your research before you chose your mentors, number one. I'm going to assume that your mentors chose you because you were suitable. Number two, did we find Kimberly Fisher, by the way? Kimberly, are you here?
She was here.
Yeah, she's there. She's waving. I can see her. Hi, Kimberly.
spot-
She's on my screen. I see you.
Can you spotlight her? How come I can't see her? There she is. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. Okay, so you're my brother's mentee, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so both Ella and I know him well. I might know him a little better. Tell us what it is that you're looking to do. What's your professional goal?
My professional goal is to unlock my potential and my gift and my passion for screenwriting, and so television writing. And I'm also an author of my very first manuscript. So thank you. Thank you. And at first I thought my age would be a problem. And I thought that maybe I couldn't change my career, and I just want to get paid for what I love to do. And when I read Hisak's bio, I just was like, yes, he gets it. I want him. And so that's what spoke to me. And I was like, I really want to be mentored and I want to be valued. And I don't want to beg anybody. I want somebody to be about their word and really want to be entrenched in what I want to do and really believe in me. And so that's why I chose Hisak.
Oh, thank you, Kimberly. That's so, so wonderful. He's going to be so happy to hear that. Ella, was that Paige's question? Wadad, whose question was that? No, it was Maury's. Maury, I knew this about Kimberly, that she wanted to be a screenwriter. Hisak shared this with me. And, clearly, look, my brother is an English professor. He doesn't teach screenwriting. My brother has never written a screenplay, but I will tell you, there is no fucking body in the world that can read text like my brother. There is nobody who can analyze story, character, arcs, tone, and voice better than my brother. No one in the fucking world. So Kimberly, you made such a brilliant choice. I do not watch a show, read a book, watch a movie without calling my brother for his assessment of it, right? Because he just, when we think of professors, when we think of English professors, we think of like the pipe smoking tweed jacket, suede patch. Like, no, that's not my brother. I mean, Ella, describe Hisak. You're muted, honey.
Sorry, I couldn't find my mouse. Okay, so first of all, I'm like crying over here. So Hisak, well, he's you're gonna admit to me. So if Sophia's cool, her brother's cool. So
I just spit up because I thought you were gonna say cooler. That would have been a problem. I would have been like, and Zoom.
It runs. And Hisak can also really rock a hat. Like, I don't know what it is about Sophia and Hisak rocking the hats. But the other thing is like, Hisak's going to be so inside your words and so inside your process. It's going to be, it'll be great. It's going to be great. And you're going to break it apart and put it all back together again.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many things.
Wait, can I just say one other thing? And when Hisak gets really excited, he'll do these things with his hands and they'd be like, and that's when like the juices are moving.
Oh, he's never done that with me. It must be he's never excited about what I'm saying. He's more like, yeah, what now, Sophia? Danielle's laughing because she knows it's true. So that's a way of answering the question. For instance, my mentee this year, Daichin, she is Tibetan. She is a consultant, a cultural consultant about Tibet, right? I don't have expertise in that. And she was able to, but she wanted to ask me about how do I feel about just the industry in general, but I don't have any advice for her as a Tibetan. I don't have any advice for her about being a cultural consultant, right? And so it's kind of about it's about the industry in general, I think, and also the craft, right? And the other thing that we stress in the guidelines is that Unlock Your Potential is a professional program. Professional. What do I mean by that? I mean, I don't fucking care if your boyfriend ghosted you. I don't give a shit if your 2-year-old's being an asshole. I don't care if you're trying to decide what shoes to buy for the gala. God bless you, and I hope all that goes well. Don't bring that to the phone call. That is not what we're here for, and you shouldn't be asking us about that. Don't talk about the weather. Don't talk about, like, use that 60 minutes. 60 minutes is a long fucking time to be on the phone with somebody who is at the top of their industry. So yes, you can absolutely ask questions about things that fall outside. And to be honest, you know, if my mentee asks me something, like anybody in life, I'll just go, I don't know. Sorry. I have no idea. I can't answer that. Maybe I can find the answer from somebody else. My brother's at the gym. Otherwise, here's the thing about my brother. He can play any sport. I'm not kidding. He can play any sport. He can cook any fucking meal. My brother can literally fucking cook anything. He can do all the stuff that I said intellectually. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met, right, Ella? And yes, and he's a fucking genius. So God bless you. I'm really, really, really happy for you. And I'm really happy for Hisak. Kimberly, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on and speaking and being honest and sharing your truth with us.
Thank you.
More questions? Janice Miller, and this is a great actually segue. She wants to know, you know, your recommendations for how she could plan for the first meeting. Do you just jump into questions that they have, or, you know, is there a plan?
Yeah, you know, Janice, I would go back and look at your application. I hope all of you copied and pasted into a Word doc what it was that you asked, and then go over the 3 questions. And I would absolutely come ready with questions. When we introduce you, we're also going to send some icebreaker questions, right? And look, those first sessions, that first session can be a little bit awkward because you're getting to know each other, and that's okay. You're not going to hit a stride right away. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but you just start. And I think to Ella's point, a lot of it is feel. A lot of it is intuition. You know, I managed talent for decades, and I could speak to Riza every single day. And the second he picked up the phone, I knew, oh, Sophia, you're not getting what you want today. And we would just talk about something else. You know, you'll start to get a feel for what it is. Like I said, like with me, I'll just straight up say, I don't actually know the answer to this. Let's go in another direction. Do you have something else that you want to ask? But I'll tell you the other thing that we do as mentors, and Danielle, you could probably speak to this. You know, when you ask us questions and we answer, your questions also beget our questions. Don't you do that as well? Don't you ask your, yeah, we ask our mentees questions as well. It'll hit a flow. It hits a stride. You know, it finds, it's like water. It finds its path.
The next question comes from Claritza Jimenez. She wants to know, do we plan on formally announcing the mentees via email blast or LinkedIn post or on the website?
I'm going to have Kit Kat answer that question. That's up to you, darling.
Yeah, so we would love to spotlight all of you if that is something that you would like to do, right? So those frames that Crystal spent time making with all of your lovely, beautiful photos, that's up to you if you share, and we would love to share that as well. Same with the videos, right? These are all optional. And I think that's a huge part of this program as well, is, you know, you get out what you put in. As cliche as it is, it's very true. And so if you would like to be featured, if you would like to, you know, have the world know that you are a mentee of Unlock Your Potential, share those assets, you know, send me the videos, and we will make sure that those get dispersed. Oh, you meant your classical poll. I don't work on the newsletter, but Sophia, I would love to do that.
Announce it in the newsletter. We've not done that before. Ella, what do you think?
In terms of whether or not we're going to have a newsletter?
No, in terms of whether or not we announce. Are like, is there, and I saw too that somebody asked if we're going to do a press release. We won't do a, Danielle, we wouldn't do a press release, right? About who the mentees were that were chosen?
Like maybe a press release about like the fact that you guys did choose mentees and that you're entering your 3rd year.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
right. So it wouldn't center the mentees necessarily. It would,
Because also there's 130, so it's press releases, we've already used all the words.
Exactly, exactly. But we want to brag about, you know, this is a not humble brag, right? You guys should be like, I'm an unlock her potential mentee, just like I wear this, and I'm like, I'm a fucking bitch, I found this shit, right? Like, I brag about being part of Unlock a Potential. You know, we wear these shirts and we want people to ask us, what is it, you know, what does Unlock a Potential mean? We all talk about it all the time. I know that Ella carries it with her everywhere that she goes, as does Danielle and the rest of the team. Shantae said that she would love a shirt. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you. What happened with the shirts? We made shirts. We made mentee shirts in the first year, right?
First year, yes.
We made mentee and mentor shirts in the first year. It cost a grip, and nobody wore them. And I have to say, it fucking hurt my feelings. It was really disappointing. It took a lot of money. It took a lot of time. We got everybody's addresses. We went to the post office. It was in the middle of the pandemic. So it was really, really hard to do. And then nobody rocked them. And so we just didn't do them again. And I think we even surveyed folks. You know, yeah. So maybe we can find an alternative to that, but it just felt like throwing money into the wind, and time, more importantly. It was a lot of fucking time and effort.
Maybe we can make some merch available and then we'll take it as a donation into Up.
Yeah, I mean, we could put up, you know, we have Unlock a Potential t-shirts on bonfire.com. They're not mentee shirts, but it says, I think it says Mentor Women of Color on the back. What's the next question with Dad?
I think that, you know, we've got everything.
Wonderful.
Let's see. Going through it to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Everybody's excited about t-shirts and they would totally wear them. Just so you know.
Okay.
You know, we did have some questions about sharing location, you know, so that they can have their own meetups. If there's somebody in DC, if there's somebody in LA, if they can kind of do their own meetups so they can share their experience with each other.
Yeah, we should, I think again, Ella, that LinkedIn is that portal, right? All of that information can be on there.
Yeah, I think within LinkedIn, people can really connect with each other. You'll see where everybody's from. And then if you want to relate to each other, just direct message each other through there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other question is, will we be able to share the orientation video to anybody who had to drop off early or who wasn't able to attend?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Okay, so if that's all the questions, they were all really smart questions. Everybody, 2023, it's going to be a game changer for you. You know, I feel like just getting chosen is a gift. You know, one of my closest friends, Marcel Karp, she's coming to the 3rd year of being a mentor. She was going to be here today, but she wasn't able to be here because her dog just passed away, sadly, her dog of 13 years. She took on 3 mentees in the first year. And one of them, Janelle Bell, I believe, is 50 something, mother of 10. And the only reason she applied for Unlock a Potential is because I think her daughter-in-laws said that they wanted to apply. And Janelle said, I'll apply with you just to offer you moral support. Well, her daughter-in-law didn't get chosen, but Janelle did. And Marcel called me right after the first session. She said, as soon as they turned the Zoom camera on, Janelle just burst into tears. And she said, I can't believe you chose me. You know, as women of color, we're fucking never told that we're special or powerful or potent or beautiful or sexy or intelligent. You know, we don't get those messages because the dominant culture is so much about whiteness and so much about men. And that's why I created Unlock a Potential, to create this enclave in this community where we could all come together and all be the baddest bitch in the room, right? And you should all feel like the baddest bitch in the room because you were fucking chosen. You were chosen wherever it goes from here. And I hope that it goes to just galactic heights. You should just take pride, and your heart should swell with the notion that in such a competitive field, less than 6% fucking odds of getting chosen, you were chosen. You only had fucking 750 characters to answer your questions. That's not a lot. But you figured out in 750 words how to get across you, your passion, your dreams, your curiosity, your humanity, all of those things. Those are the things that resonate with us. You know, I don't give a shit where you went to school. I don't fucking know where any of my mentees went to school. I don't care about that. I don't fucking care where they live. I don't care about that. It doesn't matter to me. It's all about who is the person, how eager are they to learn? How humble are they when they come to me? You know, when they say, these are the things that I want to learn. You know, I think that one of the things that I've learned at my age is to be acutely aware of what I don't know. There's so much that I don't know. There are worlds that I don't know. And when I speak to my mentor, Michael Austin, he really helps guide me in this, and he gets me answers. So you should all just bask in the glory that you were chosen, because we so rarely get chosen. We're so often an afterthought. We just live so on the margins and in the shadows and behind the fucking curtains. You're not in the shadows anymore. You're not on the margins anymore. You're not behind the curtains anymore. You are in the spotlight. You are at the center, and the curtains have been pulled aside. This is for you. You won this spot. It wasn't a fucking lottery. It's not Willy Wonka and a golden ticket and you bought 100 chocolate bars. Oh shit, I got the golden ticket. No, motherfuckers, you got it. You won this. You wrote. You were chosen, and you are my class of 2023. And I am so proud of you. And I love you all. My daughter just texted me and said, Mom, what are you doing? I was like, orientation. She's like, oh, you know, she knows how important this is to me. So I'm going, before we sign off, I'm going to ask all of you to turn on your cameras again, please, if you are comfortable. Unmute your microphones. Please scroll through the screens. Look at yourselves. Look at each other. Look at your classmates. From 22 to 58. A 36-year gap. From all over the fucking country. And before that, from all over the world, representing every race and so many different ethnicities. I applaud you. I am proud of you. You are all part of my life. You are all part of my legacy, your success, my success. And I want to say thank you again to my extraordinary volunteers. I simply could not do this without you. I don't have the time. I don't have the space. I don't have your ingenuity. All of you have so much passion. We have volunteers. Crystal volunteered for the 3rd year in a row, and she did not get chosen as a primary volunteer, but she is getting a half-hour session, and she continues to volunteer. I have volunteers that hit us up that said, I've applied twice and I still want to volunteer. That's amazing. Yeah. I have friends in this group that I didn't even fucking know applied. I have mentees We have volunteers who apply. I had no idea they applied because, I don't look at anybody's applications. I don't tip any scales. I have no idea. And God bless, nobody said, hey, I applied to so-and-so. Can you, that's not how it works. So to see some of these names come through, like Akemi, when Bruce Cohen, Akemi Look is a friend of mine for years. Bruce Cohen said, Sophia, I choose Akemi Look. I was like, oh my God, she's a friend of mine. And when Yvette Noel Shore chose Maheen Saidi, I was like, Maheen Saidi, that name sounds so familiar. And then I looked at the email address. I was like, oh, fuck, it's Max. She's one of our volunteers. It's really extraordinary. So keep your cameras on.
The tea I just got last night. So I was watching.
Unmute your microphones. And we're all going to yell and scream and holler for each other, for ourselves, for unlock of potential. Everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. I am so amazing.
You go, girl.
Great. All of you, really. Hey, you busted your asses here, and you really did. Hi, Ken.
Look at you.
Thank you.
Who's that?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
Sophia.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Team Sophia.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
holidays.
you, and everybody,
Thank you
happy
so much.
holidays.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Bye,
Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you for your team.
Sophia.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, team.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations, everyone.
Peace out.
Congratulations.
Congrats, everyone.
Powerful, powerful. Oh.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle.
Hmm.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Peace.
Thanks, team. Thanks to my amazing team. Thanks, Ella. Thanks, Danielle.
Oh, anytime.
Bye.
Bye.